I want to talk about the Southern District of New York, which is a kind of prosecutorial nerve center for the left. Now, a prosecutorial nerve center wouldn't work by itself. You also need compliant judges, left-wing judges, Democratic judges, so that you can set up a whole system. It's theoretically a judicial system, but as I'm about to show, it's really a political system. It has very little to do with law or justice at all. The basic idea here is to bring in a friendly judge, target a conservative opponent, go after that guy, and try to get a severe sentence, all cloaked and masked within the garb of justice. I obviously know something about the Southern District of New York because I was prosecuted right there, so I know these characters and I know how they operate. And the reason I'm interested in them now is because these are the guys who are poring over Trump's tax returns. The Supreme Court has cleared the way for them to get the tax returns. Trump, of course, is very angry about it. He also knows who these people are. This is part of the reason that Trump decamped for Florida, because he recognized that this is a cesspool in New York, but the cesspool is going after him even though he's in Florida. And it's very clear that what they are about is they're trying to find a crime. They haven't found one. So this is a fishing expedition to try to get Trump for something. It started out, by the way, as an effort to try to get Trump on the Stormy Daniels business. Trump paid some hush money to Stormy Daniels. Let's get to the bottom of that. And then they realized there's nothing there. Those cases went nowhere. Then they were trying to figure out, did Trump make a payoff to Michael Cohen, his lawyer? So that's how this all got started. But now their idea is, let's get him on whatever we can. Let's look for potential bank fraud. Let's look for any tax misrepresentations. Let's look for any insurance misrepresentations. So this is not a case where they have a particular criminal offense that they're looking at. They're looking for an offense because they feel that there is enough political prejudice in New York and the judges are sufficiently in their pocket that they're going to be able to try to get him. They ultimately won't be satisfied until they lock him up. Now, because of my own experience, my own case, I know something about this. And here's a little clip from one of my films, I think Hillary's America, talking about, in which you can see me standing before a judge.
Turn to your left.
It all began when the Obama administration tried to shut me up.
United States versus Dinesh D'Souza. Please be seated.
Mr. D'Souza willfully and knowingly violated campaign finance laws.
He gave money to a friend to help her with her campaign. He did not tell her about it. Someone who wants to corrupt a candidate wants them to know. If it were not Mr. D'Souza, we'd have a different conversation. There is not a single case where someone like Mr. D'Souza, who is a first-time offender, has gone to prison. Yet, the government wants to send Mr. D'Souza to a federal prison for 2 years.
The claim of selective prosecution is all hat, no cattle.
So, as a recipient of a presidential pardon and somebody who has gotten through all this, and I have my rights back and my American dream back, I can look back and chuckle. But I wasn't chuckling at the time. Why? But not because I didn't want to be held accountable to law. The fact of it is that I did exceed the campaign finance law, but I did it without corrupt motive. In fact, I didn't even tell the candidate, Wendy Long, that I was doing it. I got two of my friends to give her $10,000 and I reimbursed them. Now, here's the key, and here was the problem for the Southern District of New York. No American in all this country's history has ever been prosecuted, let alone locked up, for doing what I did. First-time offense, small amount of money, no corruption. So what did the Southern District of New York do? They knew that they had a crooked judge, Richard Berman, and they realized, let's lie to him. Let's basically falsify the record of what comparable cases have produced. And he's going to be in on the lie. He's going to know about it because he's not a fool, but he'll go along with it. And so here I have a document, a very revealing document, in which the Southern District of New York, and I want to talk about what when they were presenting a sentencing memo to the judge, they were saying, this is what happened, but then we're going to tell you what really happened. So they talk about the case of United States versus Mary Beth Weiss, and they go, Feist made a $2,500 contribution to a presidential candidate's campaign committee, and the attorney then reimbursed her. So it sounds a lot like my case, $2,500, small offense. What they don't say is the following. Feist's firm attempted to influence the campaign in an effort to appoint specific individuals to political office to oversee the firm's business and the awarding of government contracts. Boom, corruption. Right there. That's what the campaign finance laws are for, not present in my case. Also, the total value of the fraud was over $800,000. So this is the case, but it's deliberately left out of the Southern District of New York's memo to the judge. I'm going to talk about a second case, and there are about 10 of these. I'm only going to do 2. United States versus Christopher Tagani. So they say Christopher Tagani made straw donations, but here's what they don't say. Tagani solicited employees of his family's liquor business to make over $200,000 in political contributions. Why? Because he wanted to get favors from government entities for his business. He also pleaded to 2 counts of tax fraud. So what am I getting at here? What I'm getting at here is that there is a system of organized lying. These people are so brazen that they can literally conceal facts to the judge. And the judge, even when the facts are pointed out, the judge acts like it's no big deal. You'd think he would say, you know what? I'm being subjected to fraud by these prosecutors. I'm going to hold them in contempt. I'm going to hold them accountable. But no, the reason he doesn't do that is he is part of the hit. He knows it. His job is to deliver a carcass to the left. And so the Southern District of New York is not really about justice. It's not really about law. It's a thoroughly corrupt political operation, and its attack on Trump should be seen for what it is. It has nothing to do with, we are neutrally applying the law. Trump is their target. They've publicly announced it, and they're going after it with the skill of a hunter pursuing a deer.